I'm so sorry that I am late. I am mourning the loss of Alyssa Edwards from The Goat.
The Goat.
We just started watching, and my favorite roommate is gone. I just don't know what to do with myself. What is up? They hate the drag queens. We are way too much.
They just don't.
We are way too much for reality TV. We are way too much.
She was too much realness, and that is the real.
We're too much
of that.
I am Acid Betty.
And I am not Alyssa, alas. He needs to consolation prize. I'm Vielette.
Wah wah.
Wah, wah. And we are real life sister and brother. And we are both totally obsessed with all things reality TV. Welcome to season 2 of our weekly reality rundown.
Wow.
Where we try to talk about all of our favorite shows. What's on your feed?
I have like nothing.
Right on. It's been an interesting summer.
Feed. Well, I've been locked up. I actually, none of that matters, but I've started sewing again, and I broke my serger again. This is the third serger that I've broken this year. So, side note, and it doesn't matter, I called a store, and I was like, I'll just get it repaired. And then one person was like,
I feel like last week this was
we do trade-ins or money, this and that. So I was like, I'm going to go in, and I hate people, but I was like, I'm going to go in. And I went in, and I was definitely like the youngest person there. Like literally was like grandmas walking around, and I bit my tongue every time because I was looking at machines. She was showing machines. And I wanted to be like, I can't see, like there's a hook that comes in through the hole to get the thread, and it pulls it through, right? There's one on my machine, and there's one on these new machines. I actually pretend I can see that in my mind. I cannot fucking see that in real life.
I can barely see you on my computer screen right now. That's where I'm at in life.
I kind of go click, click, and I can kind of see, like, it looks like it's aligned, and I just kind of...
Yeah, you're basically going by muscle memory at this point.
I mime it, and I pretend, and it works. And I'm like, right, work it out. And I wanted to turn, and she was showing me these machines, like, that you have to, like, thread and this and that. Like, because sergers are really neurotic. And so I was like, how are these old people... Like, I'm like, how... Because she's like, I'm going to get the tweezers, because she needs the tweezers and this and that. I'm like, right. This is my issue with these machines. So she was like, I don't know if I'm going to include this, but this is an interesting story. So she's like, yeah, but there's like something about the air feed on those machines, but they're more expensive. And I was like, what? And I was like, what's an air feed? She's like, oh, well, let me show you. I was like, okay. So you open up the thing, and there's no like me with the thread. It's just like 2 holes. That's it. And you literally put the thread in a hole. You push this button, and it sucks it in, and it does the whole fucking thing, and it spits it out through the now.
Okay, so wait.
V.
So wait.
Let me explain a serger to you.
No, time out.
It goes like this and around, and then through a hole, and the other one does all these weird...
are you telling me... No, I know how to summarize this shit. So once upon a time, when I had a I tried to sew, I did sew with a sewing machine. And I had the sewing machine that was like, it threads your needle. And I was like, this is amazing. It has a computer and it does all these things. And he was like, Asa was like, I'm going to show you how to thread it. And I was like, I don't understand. Little thing. It says it's supposed to do it for you. And then, of course, that's why I don't sew to this day. It's literally because of that. It's just loading the thread. So I just want to clarify what I just heard is that you're telling me that actually does what I thought originally my machine did. Like you just go like this with a thread, boop, and then it goes.
The hardest part, yeah.
That's what it should be doing.
Is getting the thread in the hole, and then you push the button, and literally it sucks it through.
So is it $1 million?
No, but
please tell me you bought one for yourself.
But
and for me.
But she gave me money off for the trade-in, and then she got money off because I didn't need the extra foots and this and that.
So did you get it?
I fucking got one.
Woo! Okay, so when I come to your house,
and it's been like a dream.
I'm not shitting you.
You know, go ahead.
Will you show me?
Yes, and you know how I tested it? This is so funny.
Because that might change. I might actually. I would love to attempt to. I can hand sew really well, I think.
If you're gonna do a serger, normally I would be like, no, like on a because sergers 4 threads. they're
Oh,
beasts.
so like it won't. Will it work? It won't work with like basic
I'm
sewing.
sure that I'm sure they have one for a basic one, but this is a 4-thread.
Oh right.
It wraps around and it cuts.
Yeah, because Ass is not fucking around, folks. Ass is not over there with that with the 4-way stretch power mesh. No.
So
he's doing.
So
other
when
things.
I was testing it, and I learned a lot of stuff because she was teaching me and changing things out. But I was like late night, I couldn't hardly see, and I was tired, and I was like, ugh, I should. I'll just do a different color tomorrow. I was like, I don't want to, and I was like, no, bitch, you're gonna do it right now. You're gonna rethread this machine, right? Because I was like, I was tired, as I was like, we're gonna see if you can do it when you really cannot see.
Oh right,
And
right.
you're irritated, and I did it.
And you did.
And I was like, oh, this is a whole new beast. So yeah, so I was in that shop with old ladies screaming because I was getting excited. Literally when she pushed
I'm
the button
sure.
and it and it spit it out through everything, and all I had to do was literally just straighten the thread, literally don't even they had to touch anything. I was like,
Listen.
and I told her, I was like, I might scream wow because I went whoa, and I was like, I might do that at home. I might just be like, whoa.
I have a sewing machine, and there's a reason that I don't sew.
I was like,
it's because I don't
whoa.
want to load the needle. It's literally that. The sewing part was fine for me. It's the needle falling out and then having to
Well, that's the drama.
Yeah, yes.
What's on your feed? Since I have absolutely nothing. I mean, the only thing on my feed, honestly, other than that, was following our Darcy Starcy Marcy face.
Well, I wanted to keep sending you photos because I needed you to see the whole picture of what I was experiencing, because it wasn't just that one photo.
Yeah.
It's many, many photos, and it's lots of different people, and the still shots are coming from her
But now I'm with
lives
you.
and cameos.
Now I'm confused.
And I'm also still, because I'm not really trying to be detective or entertainment reporter, that's true. I haven't really, I'm sure if I spent some time actually online, because I haven't been, I could catch these things myself. We follow both of them. We follow Darcy and Stacy. But I'm not following their lives, so I couldn't even tell you in the photos that I'm sending you, I couldn't even tell you who that's supposed to represent. Is it Stacy? Is it Darcy? Is it both of them?
Yeah.
But it's horrible and it's scary.
If that's the T. Yeah, that's an addiction. Then that's like someone who goes to the doctor like someone would go to get coffee.
Well, I don't want to insult people that we know, but I mean, when I see that, it's starting to head into a Monique
Glamorous
direction.
Monique, I know. I was like, I think it was Glamorous Monique. She would admit
I know that.
she went too far. I mean, when you say, some of these people who are addicted, there's a moment where they're beautiful and then they continue. I'm like, yeah, that's
Yes.
I had the only person that I actually had a conversation about that and saw it in real life for the first time was Monique. And when she showed me her older pictures and stuff, because she would be like, Amanda wants to be like me. Amanda Lepore looked up to me, this and that. I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about other than age. And then she'd be like, let me show you. And then I'd be like, oh, Amanda here, except you're taller and you must have been more gorgeous, because she was. I'm like, but then you continued. She's like, yeah, I couldn't stop. Even in that conversation, she's like, I think I want to get a smaller nose. And I was like, literally, I was like, you'll look like death. And she was like, you're a true friend.
Well, it's like you want to talk to
don't.
Nikki Exotica, and be like, please, right now is the moment you stop.
Yeah, don't stop. Yeah.
You're there.
Slow it down. Just slow it down.
You have a little nose. You have the cartoon. You have in a cartoon, I don't mean in the bad way. You have the lip shape. That's you have the whole thing.
Yeah.
You have the girl's body. Stop now.
But then there's a moment where they start seeing, I guess, wrinkles and things like that, and then it gets big and crazy again and out of control, and then things fall.
I think there's a lot of things, especially I can't talk to the previous, let's say, generation or people that were fucking around, let's say, even 10 years ago, because things have changed. But when I think of terms of a Stacey Darcy or some of these other people that we follow, the modern aesthetic, if you're messing around with fillers, right? This is what I'm thinking, okay? They only last a certain amount of time. And I think in an effort to jump on top of it before the filler starts to subside, and I like to use the expression, your face starts melting, because that's what happens, your face starts falling. I think they're constantly I got lips 9 months ago, I better go in 6 months, I better fill in, because the last time I was here was 3 months ago, so I better fill in more. And I think they start overcompensating, maybe. I don't know.
I've always thought about what I would look like with bigger lips, but I've never I don't know. I think that would start changing my face.
Lips are a whole moment. Mm-hmm.
And while I do get why drag queens do it, because then there's not a double lip moment. I don't know. I don't love Acid Betty's lip shape or something to have it. Do you know what I mean? That's the art of drag, honey. Well, Dom, back in the day, when we were talking about Thorgy or whatever, he was like, well, you've gotten stuff done, right? And I'm like, no. And he was like, and I was like, what do you think? I was like, what do you think I've gotten done? Because people always say I've gotten stuff done. And he was like, well, your lower lip is so big. I've always thought. And I'm like, that is so funny.
Me too. Totally. Sorry. Want to talk to you about lips.
What's on your feed other than Starcy Darcy and the way they look?
Oh, Starcy Darcy. So we're in agreement now that I've sent you the photos, basically, that, something's gone horribly wrong.
Possibly,
I mean, I'm going to keep my...
If that's real.
Okay.
If that's real, something went wrong because on their TV show, when they got new faces, the new faces...
It looked amazing.
...were mint.
Well,
mint
and in
quality.
all the photos, and again, I'm not totally familiar. I haven't fucked around with the filters that hard, but a filter cannot possibly...
That looks like their old face.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I'm so confused. Unless it's like one is still looking great and there was finally maybe a departure, but I can't even imagine that happening ever in any life. All right, so that's that. So I spent some time in HBO Max. And I discovered a show called The Never Ever Mets. It's a new show. And it was all a bunch of people, all Americans, that had either exclusive or pretending to be exclusive for years and years and years, like having an online relationship or on the phone or whatever, and never met.
Got it.
And now they were all going to share a house and meet for the first time.
Ooh.
And actually go through relationship counseling. And because it was like, are we doing this or what? And there's one couple that's actually been together for 12 years.
Wow.
I wanted to mention it to you because it's a different flavor. These are like real people. They're not young and they're all black. So the situations are different. They're way more real. They're not like this very surfacey bullshit that you typically see in reality shows. It's like, for example, the couple that's been together for 12 years. Well, I say that because part of it is
physically together.
He went and had another relationship and had a child in that 12 years with someone else, right? So you have like situations
incredible.
like that. Right. And yet they're still like, we've been together for 12 years. And the expression that they're using, like, so he went and had a baby on you?
How is this
How you feel about him going to have a baby on you? And it's like, he had a baby on you. This motherfucker had a relationship. Right. So it's been an interesting ride. It's not over yet if you want to bebop into it. Oh, already one couple's gone.
Oh, they just left. It's not a vote off island thing.
Some shit went wrong.
Okay.
Some shit was discovered, and it was like, and they just poofed out of the whole experiment. That always happens.
I gotta start watching that one show that I sent you, the one video of the people who let a prisoner stay with them. Because the trailer, I saw another trailer, and again, it was focused on the person who's housing the prisoner. Oh shit, the prisoner.
Because they're fucking
and
crazy.
Again, the storyline was like, I was like watching this going, what show is this for? Because this guy is crazy. And then it ends with, and that's why I'm going to be housing a prisoner. I'm like, it's the same fucking show? I'm like, so they're just gonna, like, they're literally picking the craziest hosts and following them, these poor prisoners. Like, they don't have a chance. Literally don't have a chance.
No.
Here's a home with a crazy person. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you just know, because you just gave me flashbacks of that man that used to hide his sandwiches in the air conditioning vent.
Yeah, because there's no meat allowed in the house. Get the hell out of here. That is so crazy. I would be him. I would be him. I literally would have like a supermarket under my bed.
Do you remember he was like laying on the ground like...
Yeah, and I would have the air conditioner vent all turned into a little refrigerator. There would be all kinds of things. Get out of here. Sorry.
Oh, that poor man. Those poor people. Oh, God. Stay out of prison. Stay out of jail, kids. Not because it's the right thing to do, but because it's the best thing to do for yourself.
Yeah, because the system sucks.
Like, I'm not saying don't be a criminal because I'm so goody. I'm just saying jail sucks. Don't go there. Ay. Okay, so there's the Never Ever Mets. I kind of like the title too, so it was cute. And then 90 Day Fiance, the UK. Another season has premiered.
Okay. Oh my God.
It's on HBO Max.
I can't.
Oh my God. I have to introduce you to some of these people.
Okay.
I know, but it's amazing because now I'm starting to see patterns. So
is there a trans?
There's another, and no, but like you want to talk about some specific parallels. There is a white, pretty, blonde Nicole who just married a Muslim Egyptian.
Okay, here we go.
Who's also highly controlling and crazy.
And what is she? A stripper or fashionista? Something, this.
Yeah, she's literally
model?
like. Yeah, she's like gorgeous with hair down to her butt, literally like blonde hair. Yeah, she's
like, you must cover that. I'm not asking you to cover it up. I'm asking my wife.
And she's explaining it to her brother, and he's like, I didn't know about any of these rules. And she's like, they're not rules, they're compromises. And it's like,
here we go.
Okay. Yeah.
The language.
There's an amazing scene that they're showing where she's like trying to talk to him, and she, you will be Muslim eventually. You will be Muslim. And she goes, what? No, I thought we talked about this. And he goes, I was not finished talking yet. And then he just stands up and walks away. And she's like,
God.
What the fuck? It's like, welcome to your life.
Welcome to your future, bitch.
So there's that. Then there's another UK guy. You know what? I gotta text you his photo because there is a type.
I should turn this on.
Oh Lord, please don't fuck with my technology. I just took a quick shot. They also have a knack of finding these UK men that live with their moms.
This is so strange. I like his hair,
and
though.
Complain about unable to find anyone in their own country, but somehow they're always dating Asian women. And so he says this is how he describes himself. This is him. I have all the freedom of an adult, but the responsibility of a child, and I absolutely love it. His mom does everything for him, including she packed up his shit so that he could go and see his girlfriend. And then when he meets her, he's explaining to her that when they're together, they're going to live with mom, and that they can both fight over who takes care of him better. And he's like, don't you understand? Wouldn't that be great? He is like dead. He doesn't understand why she's upset. It's amazing. He's like, she can be massaging my neck and you can be massaging my feet. He was dead serious.
They have a type. The producers know how to make
and
TV.
Look at him.
They know how. Yeah, he looks like a rock. He's like rock person. He lives in a tree.
He makes Spurt Kyle look really good.
He, in fact, is one of Kyle's kids.
Okay, and then
in the UK.
Oh no. Okay, and then you have the gay couple.
Okay.
And you have like this overweight Englishman.
Okay.
Who's fallen in love with this really pretty, really hip, really modern Thai guy who's a photographer. And he's like, when I saw him, first on the app, I didn't like him, but I saw that he taught English, so I thought, oh, we should get together. So him and his friend are talking about how good his English has gotten. That's like literally how you're introduced to him. Is him saying, I didn't like him, but he teaches English and my English has gotten really good and London will be great for my career. So he shows up and the English guy has put on a shit ton of weight and he comments immediately on like, I can't even get my arms around him. Oh my God, it's like hugging a different person. Then they're driving and he's like, oh my God, where the fuck are we? We're in the middle of nowhere. And then he takes him to some like water where they're in wetsuits and he's commenting on how he's never seen a penguin on a surfboard.
Oh, because of, oh.
Exactly. Everything they're doing, all I thought was, oh, he's going to be on the next season of Villains, on House of Villains. Because they're doing him like they did this other girl that showed up on Villains, where he is just like, you can tell in other scenes that they're very physically affectionate. He's not putting him off. He's just unhappy and he's vocal about it. And he's a snob. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can tell he likes him. You can tell. But the producers are really leaning into this guy's a dick and he's fatophobic and you know what I mean? So he's really getting the rough ride.
Well,
but it's
not
fun
a lot
to watch.
of fat people in Thai.
Well, no, and it's fun. And, of course, you've got the Dominican couple.
Of course you do.
There's always, the overweight 40-year-old woman who really thinks that the 20-year-old man that she met at the resort that works in the entertainment.
It sounds familiar.
Not me, thank God. Jesus Christ. Thank God that's not my story. I mean, like the farthest, like that man would, nowhere near the resort. But it's crazy. She's like sitting on the bar in Punta Cana, which by the way, gross. What a choice. And she's asking this gorgeous, again, another gorgeous 20-year-old Dominican who's paid to flirt with you and get tipped. And she's like, so do you think that he's flirting with other women? And he's like, oh, yes, he's with the animation team. That's what they do. And she's like, oh, I never thought about that. Like,
that word.
Animation?
Yes. Didn't I tell you a long time ago there was a friend of mine who I didn't know what the fuck he did animation?
Oh.
But I thought he was a
that
dancer,
Pedro?
and he would show me pictures of him on the cruise ship in all these
Yes.
fucking shows. And I'm like, but he said animation.
Yes,
no, I call him
that's it.
Waffle, my friend from Belgium.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's so
Okay.
funny. So many animation. I went, that word. It's the first time I've
I just
heard
think
that
it's
word
so...
in terms of entertainment, other than my. Okay.
I don't know. I just think it's odd because some couples, like, so there's two Dominican couples this season, and one of the men was very much like my boyfriend at the time, where like the camera's following him, and even though he's on the beach dealing with other women, he's like, oh, let me show you a picture of my girlfriend. She's so beautiful. She lives here. She's coming to see me. You know, I would get feedback like that. Like my boyfriend was crazy about me. Everyone knew who I was already. So you have that looks very real. When they show up, they are like into each other, right? But then you have this other woman that's like just waiting for him all the time. He doesn't show up. Every scene again is him talking about how he wants to better his life for his family. It's like, read the room. It's very sad because it makes you wonder, like, are you going to look back at the TV show and realize that you were kind of had?
No, because some people, there's like this, I can think of this one redhead lady who's been chasing after this one guy. And she's like a mole person, American. And
wait, are you talking about the woman with the Mohammed? His name was Mohammed?
Yes.
And he was like, we don't kiss
And she would
until...
cry, and then he's got another girlfriend. And I was like, girl, did you not see it the whole time?
Didn't she?
And do you still not see it? Like, he's
Didn't he
doing
move
it.
into like a van?
And he's got
like
another
lived
girlfriend
in a van on
now.
the beach to get the fuck away from her after he got
Whatever.
here. Like he was like, I would rather be homeless.
You know who I'm talking about.
Well, like I don't want to be rude, but there are signs. There are so many signs. Someone's either into you in a genuine way. The physical is a big part.
Well, the problem,
you know?
though, is at least these women, they're so insecure that they're not trusting their gut, you know? And their gut is saying, he's not into you. And then they go into this insecure hole. And so they never come out of it.
Well, she says before she leaves England, this one woman, her mother says to her, you know, I'm concerned. I'm concerned because you're also already sending him money. You're already doing this. You're already doing that, right? And by the way, you and I have seen, like, first of all, I live the Dominican world, but you've seen enough even on this show you should have an idea of scale as far as like what the poor people in the Dominican Republic look like versus, let's say, Pedro's mother, who has this beautiful apartment and has everything going for her, versus still live in a shack with no electricity. So this kid, his family is poor, like poorer than my man was. Like they don't have anything. Even their home looks like a shack. He wants to get the fuck out. That's what's happening there. And she's like, well, it's kind of insulting when people say they're concerned because that means I'm not good enough. It's not that you're not good enough. It's just that in this situation that might be happening. Because I don't think it's an individual slight, right? It's just in this situation.
And also,
and you should
yeah,
also
and
know
also in
if
that
you're 40
situation,
and you're looking at 20-year-olds.
Desperation. Yeah, hello. Also, you should just know, I feel like, that's part of your package. Do you know what I mean? You have beautiful hair, you have beautiful skin, and you get to
and you're American,
and you're gonna
or you're English.
and you get to rescue him and have money to like whatever. And whether that lasts for 20 years, you don't know. That's how I always feel. But for right now, that's part of your package. I mean, honestly, because I find even in those situations, they do love the person, and they love the person because that person got them the fuck out. It's not the same kind of love, right? It's not like, ooh, I want to fuck you every day, and I'm obsessed with the way you look. But it's like what you've done for me and my children and my family and my life. Mm-hmm. It's like I will, you know, it's still there. It's still a true love. Yeah. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that. But I feel like for like that, because men do it all the time. So like, girl, if you're like 40 or 50 and you're going, yeah, that's part of your package.
I know, but that is the problem.
If you're 60 or 70, that's all you got.
On the female side,
for a 20-year-old,
they really want to feel wanted, and it's like, but you're going to a place, and this is like the third time on 90 Fiance that I can just think off the top of my head, right? This is the third time that they're not showing. Like, I knew a girl when I lived there. I knew this girl that was a teacher, and she met him. It was similar to my situation. Like, she met him in an off, weird place. You know what I mean? It wasn't, I work at your resort and I'm paid to flirt with you and show you a good time.
I came to the resort to sell roses.
Or whatever, right? Like, I didn't meet you at the resort. First of all, if you meet them at the resort, that's a problem because they're there looking for white girls. Like, that's why they're there. And especially if they work in the entertainment part of the resort or they're a bartender, if they're anyway hospitality.
Yeah.
Who are you? Why are you here? Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. Do you want a drink?
Hello.
So I had fun because I didn't realize, I I had no idea that it was coming. So it was really fun to see that season was back.
Well, yay for you.
Yeah. And I'm going to be really curious to see how any of these couples work out.
They do have a template. I mean, they do pick some that are very questionable, as they should, because that's entertaining.
Oh, no, there's some real... But the idea that, once again, I mean, it goes back all the way to Molly. Remember Molly and her man behind, like, the producer's kind of eyes and everything. She went and got married to him. Well, this girl, Nicole, married the guy in Egypt and then told everybody. So it's like, so now you're fucked.
Now you're fucked.
Well, because now he's going to really show you who he is. Future Muslim girl of America.
And or get the fuck out.
Yeah, so that's where we're at.
Party.
So 90 Day Fiance. And we're going to continue talking about 90 Day Fiance with Love in Paradise. It's season 4, episode 6. And we're already halfway through the season, if you can believe it.
I can.
And you're like, it's been going on slow.
It's been 1 week, yeah. It's been one week
in their
or
lives.
2 days in their life, I believe. It's
6 months of ours.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not almost over.
And it's the 5-part tell.
That's for real.
In today's episode, Alex tries to recruit Adriano's parents to join the 2024 Crusades. Madeleine throws a prenup tantrum, which, speaking of templates, we all know how girls in Colombia and prenups are going to go. God, jeez, Luke, watch the show.
Betters.
And Shawn... Exactly. And Shawn has a surprise for Alliya, and Kyle has a couple of surprises for Annie.
You're stupid. You're all, yeah.
So we start in Napoli.
In Italy.
In the market. Yeah.
Super exciting. Not really.
I was excited to go meet Mama.
Oh, well, yeah, all that is great. And that was really cool and really fantastic. I just, yeah, it was that whole God thing. It's just weird. It's just funny because the family was like.
I'll transition into it. I'll give you the quote. And the quote goes something like this. In tears, right? Because you have to have I brought up religion. And it just went downhill from there. They all ganged up on me. Oh, like you wanted to gang up on him. But they actually had common sense and said, hey, we believe in Jesus too, but it's all good. And you were like, oh shit, I'm stuck here looking like a dumbass because you are a dumbass. I love that so much. She was like, I'm going to get these because I know they're religious and they're Catholic and they'll totally see it my way. And then when it flipped on her, it was like, backfire. And then she starts crying.
Well, because again, I don't think I said this in the podcast we said on the phone. I just don't understand when you're in a place like Italy or Greece where you can feel the beginning.
You did say in the podcast. You
can feel the beginning of time and all that. It's like, girl.
No, but what was killing me was you literally tried to rope in his parents to agree with you because you knew that they were religious. And they literally looked up at you in the face and said, sure, we're religious, but it's still okay that he's not. What's your problem? And that's when you were like, oh, they all ganged up on me. Oh. And then in the car, she's like, I don't know why you're putting threesomes in front. No, honey, you're putting God in front of everything. See yourself. Look in the mirror, please.
And a weird place. Yeah. When she was like, I know I'm worth it and I'm all these things, it was so weird. Like she was saying,
every time she was saying that, but it was like, want me to have God.
It was, I just want to be like, well, here we are. If you believe in God, God put you here. You're now with a guy who loves threesomes. I'm confused. Like, explain your God right now, Boo Boo Bear. Explain it. He brought you here. We're here in a car. We're filming it.
I mean, if it's God's will, right?
God's filming you right now for a TV show.
It's happening. It must be his will.
Explain it.
If that's how it works.
Yeah, like I'm so.
If that's how it works.
Like it's always weird.
God is good, girl.
But when she said, you need to have full because again it's like always a religious rant, but their statements are always.
She's doing it.
So M's kind of like I literally have a bunch of bullet points, but yeah, at the end when it's just like all this God bullshit.
It was all. Well, that's all it was. She keeps going back to that, and the irony is that. Then she's like saying that he's putting roadblocks in her way and she's getting ganged up on and you just keep hammering at the same thing and over again.
Yeah.
Just stop or walk away and go to church with your cousin and find yourself a nice man at the church.
Yeah, find yourself.
I had a boyfriend
you need a man
that
that goes every week to church if that's what what it is. Like you need that cult kind of religious thing. Do it.
Yeah, like
Go
I
every
was
Sunday.
with someone for a long time, and guess what he did after that? We broke up. A year later, he went to the church where his parents went, found himself a nice girl that his parents liked, and believes in Jeebus. And now they can be happy.
Is this the second or third? Is this just the second wife?
I
Third?
think so.
Okay, I thought he like
I don't
married
know,
again.
but I will confess that
You
after
lost
this
count?
episode, I was so on one that I actually went back to that email. I found it and I responded
To your boyfriend, ex-boyfriend.
when he's like, "Are you a Republican yet?"
Oh, you finally thought of something to say.
No offense intended. So then I responded and said, "Do you still believe in a pretend magical daddy in the sky? No offense intended."
There you go. I was like, I hope you say something with no offense intended. Yeah. But do you still believe
and
in
his
talking
response
snakes?
within not even a minute
Yes.
was a direct quote, a story that I shared with him. You probably don't remember because you were young, but do you remember the one time, stupid me, I decided to turn, like it was like literally at Bubby's house at the table, and I started to question like, why are you Jewish? Denounce. And everyone's response, including Aunt Lily, was just be Jewish. You were born Jewish, just be Jewish. He literally wrote me back and went, just be Jewish, Becky. That's all it says. And I was like, oh, that's
weird.
Like, that was it, huh? That's it. You just think he just thinks he's so, but that's how stupid I think you are. So I'm glad that, exactly.
Well, if you knew anything about Judaism,
Right.
I am. I woke up this way. I woke up this way. I don't have to be it. I am it. That's straight up being like, have
I've
two
already
legs.
had an Orthodox,
Okay.
I've already had an Orthodox rabbi tell
you
me to
emailing
my
me?
face that, and I quote, no matter what I do, I will always have a Jewish soul. That's what David told me years ago. Because I used to be like, nah, no. And he'd be like, doesn't matter. You still are. Sorry, Sam. I'm a Jew. Can't separate me from that bullshit that you subscribe to.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then here we are, speaking of old-fashioned cultures with giant statues of popes and saints. We're in Colombia,
Colombia.
with
Okay,
Madeleine
I'm
and
like-
Luke.
All of these places, other than Malta, because I know nothing about it, has what you described.
Well, because I've
That's what I was
been to
like,
Colombia and I've
okay.
actually walked the streets.
I'm like, girl.
I've
Italy,
actually walked the streets of
Greece,
Colombia, so I have
Brazil,
like a personal.
When you want to talk about iconography everywhere, honey.
Well, I'm just saying, like we're literally going from Italy to Colombia, so it's like again, even Dominican Republic, like all of these places, I mean, are rooted
In religion.
in deep Catholicism, not even Christianity, Catholicism. It's like the heaviest of it.
Yeah.
It has the most rigid rules. And you're just going to bebop in here with your Reform American Christianity like, oh, these are the 3 rules that we follow. Why don't you follow these 3? No, because that's like, right?
Forget the rest.
That's what it is,
I mean,
right?
read that book.
Well, because again, aren't you fucking him? Aren't you fucking him right now, Miss Premarital Sex Fornicator?
The list goes on
Aren't you
and
doing
on.
shit
Don't you
right now?
Don't you eat shellfish? I mean, yeah, that's enough.
Like, oh, let's talk about it.
So Colombia.
Yeah, like and again, very brief notes for me on that.
Me too.
as well.
All we have is a crying baby because that's that's how. I mean, and I get it. That's all. That's how you get stuff.
Colors.
Is you cry.
It's Colors version 2.
You cry and pout. You don't even have to explain yourself.
Yeah, she leaves the big teddy bear, but takes the little one to grandma's house with her.
Disappears.
But comes back because she hasn't figured out yet how she's going to weasel around that prenup. But I bet she's figured out a blowjob would not hurt her situation. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Jasmine, all these girls know what's up. Just
Well, it sounds like he's married to it, but I think he'll discover he's really not protecting anything with it.
oh, honey, he's so weak sauce. You know what I still hear? I can literally still hear him. Like if he was my boyfriend, that would have ended him. But there's this moment when they were at wherever the fuck he took her, the coffee place. And she's like, fuck you. I don't want to do the prenup. And his retort, like the only thing he says is, well, Brian thought we needed one too. And I was like, that is when you die. Like if we were in a relationship and the best thing you have to say to me is that your friend,
Someone else said
you
something.
talked
Yeah.
about it and he agrees, that's when like she was already like walking away. That's when I would have turned around and been like, excuse me? Who? Like Jasmine would have turned around and thrown something at your face. You know what I mean? That's why Madeleine's not quite fully realized yet. She hasn't quite figured it out.
I guess what I was going to say, I know how I would be, not as a girl, but as a guy, but then I was thinking, but that's why I don't have relationships relationships like that. I'm like, yeah, but if I was like, I want a prenup and I was sold on that,
well,
the relationship would end.
well, there's a prenup.
Yeah, the
There's a
relationship
prenup.
would end. Sorry.
Right. But so far
I still love
in the
you.
history of 90 Day Fiance, these things don't pan out for the man.
No, because they're stupid. Let's be honest. They're not like that kind of girl. Yeah,
So desperate.
and then I just thought it was funny that she said she showed him for a year who she is, and that should be enough. I
Yeah, well,
just find
she's
that-
like, listen, I stayed here.
I just find that interesting.
It's like,
and I worked here
well,
for a
because
year. That's so much, and I'm like, that. I guess that's a long time for a 16-year-old or whatever the hell this teenager is.
Again, she reminds me of Jasmine because so you have like two toxic personalities, right? You have like the man on one side that's like, I don't beat you, I'm amazing, like literally.
That's it.
Because I've dated a guy like that, right? He's like, what do you mean I don't beat you or
high.
anything? And you're like, oh right, that's the standard. You don't beat me, awesome. And then she's over here like, I haven't cheated on you, and I'm over here and I'm me. I'm for like someone else could have bought me, and I've been sitting here on the shelf for a year for you. Literally, I think that's where her head is. Haven't I showed you like I'm loyal and I went to Made of Beauty every day,
and I pretended I
took
was at a
pictures for
salon.
Yeah, like I played the part and you're not doing your part.
Which is giving me more money.
Which sucks because I always feel like then if that's what it is, you should maybe articulate that. Like in the past, in my 20s, I was able to actually secure, things that I wanted because I was able to say, you know what, that's what this is. And I would like this, please. If you get the right person, they will be able to take that. You know what I mean? Be like, this is what I would like, please. And it's, you know what? It's okay to be a girl. Even now, it's okay, or a man, but especially there to be a young woman and say, I want a man that has money. You can do that. It's okay. I want a man that's going to give me $10,000 a month to spend. And if he can't, I'm sorry, you can't afford me. Bye.
Yeah, but I think she's afraid because he's the cash cow right now.
Well, they both peace out is the point, right?
Yeah.
And they're both like, well, no, she feels like she's like you said, she's done the work. She's earned
The
her
wedding and 5 dresses.
life. Yeah, and her violin, and her piano, and her bigger boobs in 10 years
Live
when she gets a little bigger.
And a DJ.
Right, and the dead butterflies to fly away.
Yes, bitch. Mercy.
So Alliya and Shawn.
And then sure, that's the order.
Yes. What do you think about Aliyah's mom and Hermano not knowing that Shawn even existed, and they've been together for like 3 fucking years? Wow.
I get that, but she said that her relationship with her mom, it was off and on, and that she's.
I don't know. I kind of like the mom because she was already referring to her as her daughter and everything. So I was like, right on, mom.
Well, the mom was funny because the mom's story had a transitioned, which I thought was funny. I don't think her mom even realized, because her mom would be like, when he was the little boy, he did all these things, and when he was 5, he did these things. When she was like, and then when she was a teenager, she would. And I'm like, oh my god! Even in your language, he just turned into a girl like that. I was like, she would do these things, and she would wear my clothing. I'm like,
But that makes sense because
Boom.
I talk about you, even though you're not trans, but like I talk about your drag queen persona in that way. It used to confuse people. It still confuses people because I will switch from him to her, and it's because if I'm envisioning you in my mind as Acid, you're a her, and if I'm talking about Jamin, you're a he, and I just do it. So that's literally where she went.
yeah, but yeah, no, the mom was great, but she said that the mom was trying to make up for things in the past, whatever that is.
I thought it was sweet.
I screamed when he said that he was going to propose.
I was so happy. I mean, we both kind of knew it, right? But I was like,
Kind
really, and the
of.
way he did it was kind of epic.
Fantastic.
Because at first I was going to write down, oh, great, he got her basically a cameo. Like, oh, I got her to record a video on my phone. Like, okay, well, that's basically a cameo. But when it was like, I'm here with her and she
has the ring. And he'd been holding on to
she
that
asked
for
the
a
question.
year.
Keep wanting to eat this microphone. What the hell?
That is crazy.
That's major. I know. No, that was major.
You could tell that she was gagging.
Everyone in the fucking room was gagging.
Yeah.
I can't even. That would be like Taylor Swift or Beyonce or, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, just hanging out with Madonna. You want to marry me?
So good. So
Yeah, it was epic. I loved
proposal.
it. Good for you, Shawn. We wish you all much happiness.
I knew it was going to work out. I still think it will.
I hope so.
Yeah. And then I have that. Yeah. And then the last and very least is Annie and Kyle. I only have one thing. She wants Kyle to stop donating, and Kyle is donating and getting drug tested.
Right.
That's it. It's literally, like...
Every fucking episode is her saying...
And then the next episode is her getting a glass of water.
How many times... Well, how many times is she going to repeat? See, this is why I don't have many girlfriends, because I feel like this is a very girl thing. I don't know why men don't do this. It must be an emotional thing. But I can't, girlfriends would not, I'm not the one to call. Because that kind of conversation where you're just repeating the same information over and over, expecting a different response, get away from him. How many friends, like you're obviously not listening to every instinct in your body, and you're not listening to anyone online, okay? And you're not, because she's read,
Right.
You're not, how many friends do you need to meet? Like, how many people do you need to hear?
We are back with the GOAT episode 5. Hurricane Kristin is gone after coming back and then gone. And Jill already has her eyes on Reza?
Yeah, Reza.
It's a double elimination, and everyone wants to be the GOAT. Who will lead the herd and who will be slaughtered? And unlike the challenge, it's not like a girl and guy elimination. It's just 2 people.
Just whoever. Yeah, you're out.
Whenever I hear double, I always think girl and guy because I'm a challenge whore.
Oh, I don't, because I'm a big brother.
I should have put that in my feed. I watched the challenge and I saw the updated challenge. I watched the challenge. I just don't mention it.
Okay, the All-Stars.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing to talk about because it's a sport. It's a sports show.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's why you're not going to see. It's not going to be a girl and guy, because in sports that might matter, but not in balloon and whatever the fuck the challenges are. You know what I mean?
Pop the balloon.
Well, I mean the pimple thing and like
that
the challenges they have.
So gross and stupid and weird. Did you see the pimple thing that when you pop the balloon, there was like a hole behind it where someone is pumping more?
Yes. It's very...
Every time I see that, I always think about imagining that being my
what was
job.
That show?
I'd be like, oh my God. On Nickelodeon,
Double Dare.
Famous.
Where you get slimed.
And you have to like pick the boogers out of the big nose to look for something. You had like 6 places. You had to like find something hidden.
Oh, thank God that shit wasn't on that show, that documentary that we watched, the
oh yeah,
the dark side or whatever.
Well, they showed.
I was just waiting.
They brought
for
the producer. Remember, he did talk,
but it wasn't.
But then he kind of said, "I'm not. I wasn't really about that." Yeah.
Yeah, and I was kind of waiting for them to be like, "Well, those amazing shows," and I was like, "Here," because I didn't watch any of the shows that were highlighted in that.
Neither did I.
After us,
because I saw like you. We didn't have cable. We were poor.
Well, we didn't have cable. I was trying to explain that to somebody the other day.
I was like,
because so I have this friend that's like 10 years younger than me.
So even the slime thing wasn't. We didn't get it because we're not rich. We didn't have cable.
Okay, so I asked him. I was like, "Do you know this reference?" And he's like, "Why wouldn't I know the reference?" And I'm like, "Because when you're children, 10 years is a huge difference, especially for our specific generation. Not to sound old as fuck, but like we're literally the kids with no computers, no internet, no cable. And then just 10 years later, there was cable, there were computers. You're a whole different fucking person.
You had to pay for, and Disney and Nickelodeon was like you had to pay for that package.
No, there's a whole we didn't have any of that shit. My one best
friend had that, so that's how I knew about the Mickey Mouse Clubs. I was through Aaron because he was all about it, and I was like, I don't even know what this is. I felt so left out.
I didn't know Nickelodeon and all that stuff.
And MTV. The only time we saw that was the 1 week of free trial.
Yeah, we were already in high school.
That's the only time
I was already
watch it.
I was already moving. Yeah. For my particular age group, that was a major setback for me because socially, everyone had already.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Is even with the Mickey Mouse Club and stuff, it's kind of like when and I'm in entertainment, when all of your friends
talking about it,
singing it, knowing it, and I have no idea.
Yeah.
There was like a class thing playing that I just wasn't aware of.
Dude, 100%. Even in like all the dances, like when I was in high school, that's when all the dances. So like you had to, if you didn't watch, oh my God, hip hop was coming out when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So that's when all the shit was like hype. If you didn't see it and you didn't hear it, how the fuck were you even going to know what the hell they were talking about? Can't Touch This and The Running Man and Snoop Dogg, all that stuff.
I remember how I discovered Delight and stuff. Yeah, it was like they had to tell me. Like someone told me about them.
Oh,
in zero
my
period. All the cool kids
God.
were like, you don't know about Delight. And I was like, what is that?
Oh my God. And Sinead O'Connor on our big screen. Nothing compares to you. Oh, what a thing. Only a week.
Anyway, so we're at the go, and Alyssa does not have her makeup crew, so she's stuck doing her hair and makeup herself.
And you know what I thought was interesting was that she, not only the color choices,
Did you see
because ouch.
what I was talking about?
The orange and pink, it hurt my fucking eyes.
She went
But then
pink on
also
the
when I
face.
realized that she opted for
We're
feathers,
all
and I'm
orange.
like, so you decided on a cooking challenge the day that they were like, we might put you in front of fire and boiling water. That's when you're going to wear feather and fringe?
She does not think, she's literally just she's like a fly to light. She's just attracted to things and puts them on, just like, that's glittery, that's big. That's why she always wear like foam hair and all these random wigs and stuff, because she's just kind of like, girl, because we were on tour together, she's just like, I want to wear that. She just feels it. I want to wear this with these shoes and this hair. Oh, fantasy. And it's just like a,
but you know what? Good, then good. Let her do that.
It's just a mess.
But I was glad that they weren't actually going to be cooking. I tell you that.
Yeah, hello.
Because I didn't want to see her set herself on fire.
She's so mean. Did you see though? Isn't it like during the challenge how Tech all of a sudden like could not slingshot?
Well, I wasn't actually paying attention until I heard everyone
they were
was like, "Oh,
him.
he's throwing it," and I mean, the vitriol coming from that side was so gnarly.
Yeah, poor guy.
He was kind of bullied, if you ask me.
And he
That was
kept
kind of gnarly.
positive, but that's him. He will always. I love him.
Yeah,
he's always been like that.
He's good times.
Like I think the very first introduction to him into the world of entertainment is stripping naked and jumping into the pool. Like that's the very first time you meet him. Like he goes in the real world house and he's like, oh my God. And he goes boom, boom, boom and gets naked. And then someone else is like, hi, are you my roommate? If I remember correctly. So he's a free spirit. So I'm glad that he didn't water on the duck's back, if you will. But they voted him off for it. He doesn't do well in these shows. I mean, I've seen him on The Challenge. I've seen him in these shows.
Oh my God. I mean, as long as we're talking about it, fuck it. Can we just talk about the kaleidoscope outfit with the gloves and the shirt attached? The next outfit, the boy outfit that Alyssa had, the whole episode to me was just a fuck fest for my eyeballs, because what was that?
Alyssa's taste level sucks. That doesn't exist. That's what I'm trying to say.
It was like, I literally spent the whole time trying to figure out who would be like, what body type or what person would that be flattering on? And the answer was no one and nothing. Like, someone needs to set that on fire immediately. Who made that?
She don't care.
Jesus Christ.
So weird.
Oh my God, with the gloves, I can't. With the one piece leotard, I don't know what it was, but I couldn't. Sorry, Alyssa, I really love you.
That's why I call her, she's a fantasy girl, because she just follows her fantasy.
Yeah.
You know how you're just feeling something and it doesn't matter what it looks like? It's just how you feel in it. That's her all the time. And so sometimes it's a miss.
Yeah, and they got rid of her because she was too real. She was the realness.
Yeah.
Her and Tech. Two good vibes, which is so funny, right? Like, you have people like Jill that are like, everyone's toxic, and they're literally getting out all the people that are good times. Who said it? Was it CJ that was like, what the fuck? They're getting rid of all the cool people?
Well, girl, those reality TV shows are not really the best people.
Well, no, it's a dog eat dog. Like, that's the whole point.
Like, when I really think about, like, the normal people always think, oh, the winners are these great people. And it's like,
look,
honey.
I think it's fun that Reza shouldn't even be on that show, because Reza is literally from... Reza is from Shaws of Sunset, which is basically, it's kind of like a housewives show, only it follows a Persian family, an Iranian family. So it's like these like super ultra rich, like the people I knew that live in the valley, like stupid money. Goes back generations, and it's just the whole family hanging out, being beautiful and fabulous, wearing ridiculous amounts of jewelry and outfits. You know what I mean? So then there's Reza, and I'm like, Reza, you can fuck yourself. I love him. I was not surprised to see him. Like, he's beloved, but you don't need $200,000.
Yeah, hello.
Jill Zarin, maybe, because...
No, she has a fabric company.
She's good, I know.
Did you see how excited Josh was in hopes to get a hug from Alyssa at the end? It was a whole thing.
Oh.
And he was even talking to her. He's like, am I going to get a hug?
Yeah.
Am I going to get a hug?
He really...
And then when Alyssa
yeah,
passed
then
him,
he's like, at the end, he goes,
I'm
wow,
really
that was
upset.
even worse than not getting a high five. Did you hear him say that?
I believe it too, because I think he's definitely a pansexual, whatever. He's definitely not straight.
But there was also, I mean, See, but I don't see Alyssa doing that. I don't think that she was even mindful of it.
No,
however, you would be mindful of something. Because see, Tosh has a mixed history with that as well.
You know?
Right, but then also I think Tosh has a, like, as far as like politically ambiguous relationship.
It's gone back
with
and forth. It's not ambiguous.
So,
well, it was ambiguous, and then he went back and forth. He was gay, straight. Now he's got a wife.
No, that's what I'm saying. His relationship has been.
Yeah.
So I'm saying I don't think Alyssa would be mindful in that she's not one to protest and do that. However, it would be interesting if maybe, like, in her mind, she was like, no.
Right. Or if she even knew if it was happening.
Oh, shit. Which reminds me, did you see the documentary about Kevin Spacey?
No. Oh, no. I'm curious.
Oh, it wasn't that. It was basically they just interviewed a bunch of men that were not on the lawsuit. So basically everyone, and they describe it like they repeat it so many times when you're watching it. Everyone but one person
Anthony Rapp
has never spoken out before.
Anthony Rapp.
So it's all new
Yeah.
history of the slime bag that he is.
Oh.
You know, it's all the people that watched it, watched it unfold and go, oh shit, I have a story too. But then they weren't included or they didn't come forward.
I'll watch it. I'm curious.
What is it? Kevin Spacey Unmasked.
I'll watch that. Yeah. And that's about it. And it ends with Alyssa running down an empty driveway.
Yeah, which again,
Weird.
Alyssa, Miss Thing, for someone that's like a professional entertainer, dancer, TV veteran, why didn't I get more of a
leap, a
planned
jump?
Exit, something? Leaving the, and then when you know that they're going to be watching you go down the driveway, she should have done something.
Which reminds, yes.
I hate to be a fan that says like shoulda, woulda, but like maybe, I don't know. Why not?
It's funny you say that because I'm not a heavy fan of any RuPaul girl just because they're on the TV show. Like you have to something has to catch me. And the thing that got me for Alaska Thunderfuck was what you're saying is she was on a reality TV show about like a house that was haunted with celebrities. And she did all that every day. She made sure of it. She made sure that when she had speeches, they were dramatic or she dressed up and everything was, she did like every day. She was a workhorse.
Like, oh my God, you know who's a good example? Who's not even a fucking drag queen who put Alyssa to shame as far as like panache? Bobby Lights.
Yeah.
When he was on The Villains. Remember I told you he'd show up and be like, ha ha ha, I am the greatest villain of all time. And then he'd, someone yawn. He'd be like, who yawned while I was speaking?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why aren't you being Alyssa?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
amazing.
she was just being humble dumble.
Whatever. Girl's tired.
And or
she was Justin and Justin's lame.
Yeah, and or it could be.
Sorry,
honestly,
girl.
my first thought was when I landed on the RuPaul island, I was not such a heavy fan to know all of the video assets that get created for the TV show. So now I know. So now it's like, now where I'm at is where people were and I wasn't there. So I was fully dressed up and I didn't know that we had a PR day. I didn't know that I had no idea what was happening all day. I literally did not know. They didn't tell us, had no fucking clue. Naomi totally knew. And that was because she's a super fan. But that was at the end of the day. And I literally was right before I went for the interview. I was like, oh, so because I was like, what? I thought it was for the TV. They literally didn't know what the fuck this was. So I question if she get caught up in that, where it was just kind of like, because there's a lot of go over here, film this, go over here, film that.
I'm not talking, you know what? I'm not.
She's just not putting a lot of panache everywhere.
In full, I'm not expecting full drag because I actually, when I watch the competition shows, I'm like gagged whenever anyone does drag. Like I know Peppermint is the realness. However, she does full drag.
No, but I mean like
full drag
walking down
costumery.
The driveway. Maybe she didn't know that was her exit. Otherwise, she would have been more dramatic. Is what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? They could.
Yeah, I guess
maybe
that's what I'm saying.
Who knows if they were like walk that way? Oh, now walk down these stairs. Okay, do this, and she. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe she had confetti doing the fucking down the stairs, and we never saw that footage.
But I guess
I don't know.
I just feel like
I'm giving her a little bit.
The microphone today.
But I hear you.
You are, but I just know that I know you, and I also know me. We're both such hammy hams that would be.
I know.
I think because I'm silly. I just think about that shot, and I'm like, if I know I was walking off a TV show, even if I wasn't being filmed, I would be like, I don't know. I just would be me,
they didn't like
right?
It, yeah.
So I'm like,
they didn't
girlfriend,
like it
where's your?
For me on RuPaul's Drag Race,
anyway,
they didn't like my extra. That's the thing is on RuPaul's Drag Race where she's coming from. It's like if you know the show, you know what the shots are. Do you know what I mean? So you know when to put it on and we can turn it off, right?
And you know what?
Do you know what
I was and I was reading also Soda from Survivor also was talking about how she got a lot of slack from the fan base talking about her reaction as a juror. And she was like, look, you guys don't understand that we're actually very strictly instructed to not show any facial expressions, to not interact, so like when you're seeing us sitting there while they're talking and looking like this, we're told to do that. She's like, of course, some of us wanted to be like, yes,
right,
but we're not allowed to do that.
Well, literally also, and here's my thought, because this is real tea, is also, there's called hard ice, and that's when everyone's in the room and no one's talking, right? And the cameras are still there and they're still filming. So when you see all these shots of people, like all these like sad shots or whatever,
your little B-roll shit, they're just like relaxing,
taken from a time where people are like, where we're told to be quiet or stand this and that, and it's like it's not even in relation to what's happening.
They do that on 90 Day Fiance too, because especially on the tell-alls, because they'll use the same reaction shot. Yeah. Like for all 4 tell-alls. So it's like, you'll just see Natalie constantly going, it's like, well, she can't be doing that, for fucking 4 hours.
Anyway.
All
right. So that's the GOAT. Fantastic. Right. Join us next week as we discuss episode 7 of 90 Day Fiancé Love in Paradise. Shawn has proposed. This mean we get a wedding? What's next for the lovebirds? Do we get to see a 90 Day Fiancé wedding? I hope so. I hope we get also like an anniversary. Like we get a whole week of them just going to the island. Oh my God. The vision is they go to island, and the island is the island where Ed and Angela were at. What is that?
Yes, which, not to intercede, but by the way, all this drama on the Jasmine Gino rumor mill, some people have been saying that that's all bullshit in order to get press, because they're going to be on the next season of Last Resort.
Will Madeleine sign the prenup, or will she stick to her guns and just cry all day long? Can Alex get over her obsession with Jesus? And can Kyle get over his obsession with sex with strangers? More than one at one time. Tune in. Maybe we will get answers by the end. I bet you we don't get answers. We'll at the 5-day reunion we'll get it.
By the end of the 4-day tell-all, we'll be able to tell you what's going on.
Yes.
And we'll also be recapping episode 6 of The GOAT. Alyssa and Tech are gone, so I don't want to watch anymore. No.
Right.
And the title of the greatest reality star of all time is still up for grabs. Who is the next to be cut out of the herd? We're going to find out.
Yeah, I only really watched it for Alyssa, so now it's like Rimu.
Yeah, but come on, Reza.
Anywho, you can reach out via our website and let us know what you want us to talk about, or if you have something to add at sorrywe'relate.we-didn't-want-to-be-here.com, or we-didn't-want-to-be-here.com. Find us, please, on Spotify, YouTube, and of course, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Also Threads at We Didn't Want to Be Here. I am the exclusive, elusive Acid Betty.
And I am the blank-headed Vielette who smokes too much weed. And as we always say,
they put
the cheese
on the meat. Bye.
Bye.